Good
Good
morning.
morning. And of course, I need to now remove this little sign that says recording in progress and turn it off and say, yes, I acknowledge that Cynthia L. Simmons can record. It's like, you're messing up my good morning.
Yeah.
But happy birthday week to
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank you. We're still celebrating. We've been doing stuff all week. So it's been
I know. And it's so funny. It's like, same thing with Rio. And now Scott's birthday is on Sunday. So I'm like, it just keeps going.
Yeah, just keep celebrating. It makes it fun.
It does. It really, really does. It really is so sweet. So, well, this morning I was reading Haggai, and I have that Bible. It's called the Daily Walk Bible, and I love how it shares a devotional on the side after you read. It like gives you your daily reading for the day, and then it gives you a quick devotion. And I love because it involves history, which I know that's why we get along so well, because it teaches me history along the way. But I love the question that they posed here. So Haggai built the temple in the midst of the stiff opposition, but then it said here, what do you want your life to look like when you reach the age of 40, 55, 70? Do you want a deep familiarity with the Bible, a consistent prayer life, a family that is walking with God? And I thought to myself, okay, how can I connect that with women, with homeschooling women, with mothers? And I thought, okay, a legacy. If we think we have to build a legacy versus we think we are overwhelmed, what would that look like? How would we live our day-to-day if we say to ourselves, we make the choice? Because I say that to Rio all the time. Rio, you have a choice always. What are you going to choose? So do we want to choose a life of being overwhelmed, or do we want to choose a life that we're working on our legacy? Like, how would that change us? And I know, Cynthia, you've said in the past that as women, we are not goal-oriented, that we're more relational. So how can we take this example of Haggai, who was goal-oriented, who is focused, who I don't know Haggai personally, obviously, so I don't know if he was thinking about a legacy, but obviously he left one. So how can we choose the mindset of having a life of building a life of legacy versus, I'm so frazzled with all my homeschool assignments, with everything I have to do for my kids, with the sports, with the drama, with, it's like every time I text a friend, I promise you, oh, I'm so busy, I've got a baseball, this, that. I'm like, okay, where's your time? Where's your time with God? Why do we want to live a frazzled life?
Well, first of all, I like the idea of legacy. That's because, and I always said to myself, when I get to be 90, what will my legacy be? I didn't do 30, 40. I always said,
I remember you telling me that. I love that.
What is my legacy? What is it going to look like when I'm older? And I think that tendency of ours to pump ourselves up emotionally, because every time you think a thought of, oh, I'm so busy,
right,
that injects all kinds of hormones into your system that, makes you wild. So instead of doing that, take a deep breath and say, I'm going to go before the Lord, and I'm going to pray about all these things, and I'm going to put them in a list, and I'm going to go forward. That whole idea of pumping yourself up into panic mode is not going to help you.
Oh, I know.
Think about lean on the Lord, go to him, let him calm your mind. Prayer is a wonderful thing because you are talking to the Lord. You are processing your emotions, dump them all there and leave them, and then let him help you calmly plan your day and watch out what thoughts you think, because it takes about 5 calm thoughts to overcome one thought.
Oh,
because you're filling your body with hormones that are going to keep you wild. You need to take a deep breath, calm down, and start planning your day. I did this. I had 5 kids.
I know, you had 5.
There were times I would go, Lord,
this is special needs.
I can't count to 5. Can you help me? But that is where you need to go. Calmness, planning, thought, reasoning. because if you go panic, you'll never get anything done. And it's common
Right.
sense. If you think
Yeah.
about it, the first reaction of panic doesn't accomplish anything.
Right.
It's just emotion. And one thing that scripture teaches us very clearly
So,
is that we are to rise above our emotions and feelings. Yes, we can feel them. Yes, we can have them, but we have to act. And that's what I think it means when it says to be sober minded.
I love
Be
that. Yeah.
sober minded. And it says for the purpose of prayer. And then you pray and you organize. You don't go, oh, I'm so busy, because that doesn't accomplish anything except get you hyper. And you
And
need,
Cynthia, it is like, it's just like, it just spits out of our mouths.
yes,
It is like just, oh, it's like what we typically say. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's in every conversation.
yes,
It's in every conversation, yet we have a choice.
yes. And we choose that whole idea of being sober minded, thinking through the situation before the Lord quietly in prayer, and then plan your day. And if something comes up in the middle of the day that is one of those oh no moments, you do the same thing. You mentally take a break and you go to the closet and you say, okay, Lord, I have
I love it. Go to the closet.
I have a problem to solve, and you've got to help me think, not panic. That's
Right.
what we have to do as homeschool moms, is that we have to be rational, because when we get to the end of our life, the choices that we make are going to make a difference, whether we lived on, oh no, emotions, or whether we lived
Right.
on rational thought.
I love that. You know, and the little devotional on the bottom, actually it was like, I was catching up today because as we know, it was birthday week. So I was like, I literally started on September 20th today. I'm 4 days late, 5 days late. But one of the other little things I loved is that it suggested an index cards for people, you know, to get a little index card and to write grievances that you have with people. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. What if we got an index card? And yes, if you have grievances with people, you should do that. But when I was reading this about priorities, about legacy thoughts, I was like, whoa, what if we got an index card? Because we're practical. We want steps, you know what I mean? We want DIYs. So I was like, we could create an index card with reminders, not of it's time to clean the laundry, it's time to clean the vertical blinds, my honey to-do list needs to keep growing. No, what about for us, our spiritual growth? Stop and pray the moment you're going to go, you know, like we could create, you know, to build that goal orientation in the spiritual side, not just in what we need to accomplish with our assignment sheets or the sports or anything. You know what I mean? So, I mean, is that a dumb idea? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
And just, I'm going to throw something else in here too. Think about your thoughts. God is not going to give you a thought that's going to make you panic. He's not going to do it. He's not going to give you a thought that's going to make you tear your hair out and be worried. That's not going to be the Lord. The Lord is going to give you thoughts that are, he's going to be confident in you. He's going to love you. He's going to be beside you. But those thoughts that pop into your head that are destructive, they're not going to come from the Lord.
Wow,
So be aware
Cynthia.
of that. Be aware of that. You know, the confusion. God is not a God of confusion. He's not going to get you confused.
Yeah.
So think about that. Be aware and sort those thoughts and go, that's not from the Lord. Let's go here instead. And you choose it. You throw out the one that's panicky and you take the one that is rational and you plan. And you, before you move, you decide what it's going to look like, because you're going to pay for it later. You're going to pay for it later.
Wow. You really just went to me right now. Like that was such a confirmation, because remember when all the riots were happening and you know, the beginning of the pandemic, I put like stickies all over the house and I still have them. It's like every time I clean, I put my sticky back up. And one of my stickies is God is not a God of chaos, but a God of peace. And it's so interesting because, yeah, we're so easy to be like, well, the riots are chaos, so that doesn't come from the Lord. But wait a minute. What about our thoughts? Ooh, that was good. You really went to my heart this morning.
Well, that's true. And that's what we need to remember is Satan would love to have you, wild and off the crazy end instead of quietly, seriously teaching and staying organized.
Yeah. Wow, this was a really good talk. I loved it. I just love talking to you. Thank you so much for your wisdom.
Thank you for spending time with me. Appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I will see you next week. Oh, which by the way, congratulations on your, oh my goodness, your proclamation from the mayor. That was amazing.
Yes, we have gotten 4 proclamations.
Wow, 4. I thought it was just 1. That's absolutely amazing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about,
more slowly. The pictures are
coming. So why don't you tell us, because I know what we're talking about, but why don't you tell everyone?
What we've been doing with DAR is I am chairman of the Constitution Committee. And so in DAR, we are going to various government officials and asking for a proclamation on the week of the 17th to the 23rd. First, the Constitution was signed on September 17th. So we've gotten one from the mayor of Marietta. We've gotten one from Cobb County. We got one from Barry Loudermilk, who's in the House of Representatives. And we got one from Smyrna. And the pictures are just coming in slowly because obviously I can't make a picture of myself holding a proclamation. So the pictures in, I'm sending them out.
That is absolutely wonderful. Yay for DAR and for all your efforts. That's so inspiring. I absolutely love it. And you know what I love to see from the picture, at least the ones I've received, it's all ages.
Yeah.
It's women that just want to make sure that we keep history right where it needs to be.
Yeah. And I've got podcasts that go with it. This week, the podcast was Who Wrote the Constitution? And it's a fun story. I've got a great historian called Craig Von Busick.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.